All right, and we are back right here on the digital world on Freedom 106.5 FM. We have sorted out our issues and we now have our featured guest, Miss Shanice George. Shanice,
Hi,
how are you?
I am good, very busy, but grateful to take the
let,
time out.
let me see if you remember how to do this. Saudi cup, Saudi cup. Oh my goodness. How has it been? I mean, you came out here to Thailand, you spent some weeks. Well, actually, before we even get into that, tell us a bit about Shanice George. If for the people who are probably on the Trinidad side who might not have had the luxury of coming into Peckish 868 and experiencing, because all I've been hearing about is this amazing food. I ain't even get to experience something when I was there. But tell us a bit about yourself, Miss Shanice.
Okay, so I'm Shanice. I'm 33 years old. I have no background in hospitality whatsoever, but I have been cooking since I was like 10, 11, so it was natural. I then went on to pursue my degree in agriculture, and that was my field. And I was waiting on my contract to renew, and then one of the superiors died, and then the next one quit. And I was like, I used to do cooking part time, like on Fridays. I just used to do Friday lunches. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? I think it's time to really start to walk in my purpose. And since then, I've been fully self employed and working on the brand and just trying to offer the best that I can, you know. So that's the backstory.
So what sparked the love for cooking? Because boy, I whenever I think about cooking, I just think about how I need to make more money to hire somebody to cook for me.
What sparked the love? I think it was just so natural. I don't think there was ever a time that I didn't love cooking or love food or love trying different, cuisines. As a teenager, I had a godmother. She's deceased now. She
Mhm.
traveled all over the world, and every time she came back, she would, have us try something from a different country. Like I've been eating jollof rice since I was a teenager.
Hey,
I know how to
wow.
make it. I know how to, delve in a lot of different cuisines because of her. So I would say she has contributed to me always loving different cuisines.
Yeah.
That was my introduction. I hardly ever cook Creole. I do for catering and all of that, but at the restaurant, I don't ever cook Creole food. I don't cook our local food. I always twist it somehow or the other with some kind of Asian flavor. I don't know. I feel like Asian food has a special place in my heart because when I got to Thailand and I saw some of the ingredients that I was using, I was
Uh,
using it wrong. So I was like, oh, because I would just,
uh-huh.
yeah, I would just shop at Asian groceries in Trinidad and I'll just pick up something, it's in Chinese, it's in not English, and I would just experiment and always use it with no knowledge or anything because I feel like Asian cuisine always resonates with me. I love everything Asian, So I
Wow. What's your favorite Asian dish?
think, oh, like on a regular day, if I'm running errands, the first thing I'll go to buy is Chinese food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I'll quicker go to a Chinese restaurant and go and buy like dumpling and provision and So I
Yeah.
don't think I have a favorite food per se. I just love the cuisine,
I
everything.
love the cuisine. Listen to me. Day one when I landed, tired, beat. I don't have to tell you about the journey, you've made it. But that first meal, order some pad thai, and let me tell you, I shed two tears. I shed two tears.
And there are so many things that I made, and I wanted to cry because it's so good, so good.
They don't know. If it's one thing about Thailand is they don't know how to make a bad meal. Like
Exactly.
the matter of fact, the worst thing I've eaten since I've been in Thailand is KFC. That was the worst. That
No, but
was the worst thing I've eaten since I came to Thailand.
I like the KFC.
Well, hey, I'm not even saying it's bad. I'm saying
Yeah, yeah,
it was
you
the
would.
like it was the worst thing I've eaten. Right?
Yeah.
Everything like and I found like some really small spots
Mhm.
to go and get a tom yum soup or a crispy skin pork something something something. And not only is the price right, but you feel even better knowing that, oh my God, my meal cost me $2.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So with Peckish 868, tell us about how this went about getting started because it's one thing to be an amazing cook. If it's one thing I've heard that, everybody in Tobago's hands are gifted when it comes to making food, right? So when did you realize that okay, we love cooking, we can do this good, but now this is going to be good for a business and you went and made that turn to turn it into a business. Talk to us about the building of Peckish 868 and when you decided to turn this into a business.
Okay, so I used to operate from home, right? And
Mm-hmm.
every time I have a sale, my street would be flooded, neighbors blocking their yards so customers can't turn. And I literally outgrew the space. I
Yeah.
outgrew the space, and looking back in hindsight, like my kitchen home is huge. And I used to be catering for 350, 400 in that kitchen. And now that I'm in this space, I don't even know if I could go back there. So I feel like I outgrew the space and I just wanted to offer more
Mm-hmm.
in terms of, just more in general, just offer myself and, the passion that I have for cooking.
Yeah.
And a year and a half ago, I moved into the restaurant space.
Yeah.
So I just outgrew the space and I realized that I wanted to do more. Like I could do
Yeah.
because I'm already fully self-employed. So why not take the risk? Why not reach for the stars? You know? So that's where it came in.
What's been the biggest challenge that you've had in building a business in the food industry in Tobago? Because we know that we're dealing with there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of challenges even getting things to Tobago, so young woman building in the food space in Tobago, what has been one of your biggest challenges in building this business in Tobago?
I think my biggest challenge was the fear of getting everything together. But
Mm,
I would say because I'm so resilient, I sacrificed so much to build this restaurant, to accomplish a stainless steel industrial kitchen. I mean, it's hard work. It's very expensive. It's a lot of tears, but um I would say just sacrifice, and I sacrificed and I did what I have to do. But then again too, I have my customers and I are very close because, over the years we build a relationship and, they would always be so supportive. Like I could cook anything and I am sure they will show up. Sure, sure, sure. So I feel like the support and all the love from them really contributed to my growth, you
Mm.
know? Yeah. I don't,
Listen, the minute I had put out the request looking for you It was the whole of Trinidad and Tobago that came together. Like, hey, we finding this woman, and once the people realized who it was, that
Yeah.
was it. That was it. The support that you have is, listen,
Yes.
top tier. So
Yeah.
whatever you have been doing to build your relationships, you are doing an amazing job because I have only heard amazing things about you from jump, you know? How'd you come up with Peckish 868? You was feeling peckish one night or?
The name was inspired by a restaurant in Jamaica.
Mm,
I just really liked the name. I didn't want something where it like instantly depicts food. You know
yeah.
that way? So it was like, yeah, feeling peckish. And I just put our area code and that was it. That's the truth. That's a
Hey, well, hey, it
yeah.
works. It works when you're feeling peckish. When you're
Yeah.
feeling peckish, you know. What are some of the things that people can expect at the restaurant when they come to Peckish in terms of cuisine?
Well, I learned Asian, Thai, like I learned Thai, Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. I want to introduce different days with different cuisines once I can get some of the ingredients because it's
Mm.
kind of tricky to get some of the things that I use, but I'm trying. I'll try. I'll try to. According to my chef in Thailand, he was like, "You could omit stuff, just name it modern Thai cuisine." You know?
Hey, no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But
Thanks.
as you mentioned the chef, let's talk about this trip to Thailand, right? We have had, so just to set the stage, every single week the guests that come on the program are doing things either in a field that is brand new or they're taking very traditional roles, kind of like yourself, and they are doing it in a very different way. Um, and one of the things that you have done is you have made the trek all the way, literally across the world. So how did we even get to that? How did we get to deciding that, hey, we're going to be traveling across the world and we're going to be coming to Thailand? Talk to us about that whole process.
Okay, so years ago, I found the school on, I can't remember if it's Facebook or Instagram. So I've been following the school for quite some time. And last year, I was like, Mommy, I am ready to explore. I'm ready to do more. I'm ready to, bring something different. And I reached out to the school and I got all the information and I started to research about the tickets and the long journey. And I told my team, and we started to put things in place. We immediately bought the tickets, let the time count down, pay for the school, start to gather, US currency and all of that. And we just made it happen, you know.
I
I
like
have
how you said that we started to gather the US currency.
I have a very supportive team that I can't do without, honestly, because it's a lot. Like being the owner, the manager, the chef, it's a constant battle with everything, but I have support, you know. So I have to mention them.
So you've been following the school in Thailand for quite some time. So what stuck out about this school that made you decide to travel? Because again, when people are looking to upskill themselves, them running across to another Caribbean island, they might run to the States, but we rarely ever hear about the Caribbean people who have migrated or they're not even a full migration, but they're coming over here to learn, upskill, and whatnot. We rarely ever hear. So that's why this was like really just perfect to have that conversation, right? But yeah, what stuck out about that particular school that made you say, yeah, man, this is it. We're gonna go across the world to this.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Asian cuisine resonates with me. I've been cooking a lot of fusion food for quite some time. I do sushi, I do noodle bowl. I do a lot of, Asian stuff. So that is where I knew that I needed to go to this school in particular, not to a normal culinary institute, but specifically for Asian cuisine, because I love it. I love it.
So talk to us about the trip to Thailand. You know, it's a grueling journey. So you reach in Piarco. Walk us through, everything on your mind, what you were thinking when you were checking in. Walk us through that whole process of even getting here.
Okay, so I left Tobago on the 18th of December. And on that day, actually, I had a catering. I had a catering for 100 persons, where I had to set up and everything. And while I'm setting up, one of my friends named Kimmy, I call her my manager. She's like, every minute, make sure you catch it, make sure you're on time, make sure you're on time. Mind you, this is 3 o'clock in the evening now, and my flight to Trinidad is at 9 o'clock in the night. So she's there and she is frantic because that's the last flight out of Tobago for the night. And if I don't get that flight, I'll miss my flight to Panama. So
Right.
I went from Tobago to Trinidad, Trinidad to Panama, Panama to France, France to Thailand.
Jeez.
Yeah, so if I had missed that last flight, my flight out of Tobago, everything would have been. So she's there and she's like, make sure, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I was
Yeah.
frantic. I actually got on the airport at 6 o'clock for a 9 something flight because she was on me. So I got there and everything went smoothly. I got to Trinidad and then I had to journey to Panama. But I had to lay over a day in Panama, which was so tough.
Mm.
Because I mean the airport is closed and you're there and you're cold and you're alone and
You didn't leave?
huh?
You didn't leave the airport?
No, I didn't leave. I didn't leave.
Okay.
I didn't bother to leave. I just stayed and then when I got to France,
Yeah.
I had to pinch myself. I'm like, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
really happening. This is really, really happening. Like, wow, you're going across the world. This is a dream come true, you know? So it was a lot of, what was the word? Introspection happening at the time.
Mm.
Wow, I can't believe you're doing this.
When you get to Thailand, get past immigration, customs, collect your stuff. What's on your mind?
Listen, that's the fastest immigration and customs I've ever gone through. I swear the lady, what she asked me one question, how long are you staying? And that was it. I was out of immigration in like minutes. It was unbelievable because I've been to a few other countries and everybody know immigration is tough, but it was
Yeah.
smooth. It was like, oh wow, I love it already. So, and then I took the taxi. Well, the jet lag would have been
Yeah.
crazy.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. It, I took
Yeah.
I took 3 days to get there, I believe. Yeah. I left on the 18th and I got there on the 20th. Yeah, 20th.
Wow. No, the jet lag is crazy. My route was Trinidad to Miami, Miami to Doha, Qatar. So that was my 14-hour leg.
Yeah.
And then the 8 hours or 7.5 hours from Qatar to Thailand. And I
Mhm.
landed at 5 p.m. My immigration officer didn't even speak to me. I just gave her the passport. I gave her my visa stamp, and
Yeah.
off I went. I imagine you going into immigration and not even a word is said.
Yeah. They are so unproblematic over there.
Not even a word in out. That was it. I had even out of sheer tiredness, I had forgot my carry on when I was loading my bags onto the cart. I
Mhm.
forgot to just put my carry-on on top of just tiredness. And I only realized it when I got to the hotel. I jumped back in the car, right? And I was like, oh my God, I can't find it. Went to the lost and found. They had an app. They had an app for lost and found. So they were just scrolling through and a picture was taken of my bag. And I was like, oh, that's it right there. And they
Wow.
ordered it and they're like, hey, they're like, it's at a different checkpoint in the airport. They're like, come back in exactly 3 hours and it will be at this checkpoint. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm too tired to wait 3 hours. Can I come back tomorrow? They're like, sure, come back tomorrow. It was my carry-on, so it didn't matter anyway. But just from the airport set the tone for
Yes.
what
Yes. So
for
efficient.
what to expect.
Yes.
So you land in the country, get to the hotel, you check in. Walk us through day one of the school and the program.
Day one, I felt a lot. I felt out of sort because you're in a kitchen that you're not really familiar with, and the chef speaks English, but it's not that clear. So I had to be between like asking, what did he say? What did he say? I had an American classmate next to me, so
Yeah.
the first day I was like, wow, we did green curry, one of the curries, I can't remember which, but I was amazed at the flavor, at the profiles, at the ingredients, to see that they have some of the ingredients that we have here. I was so surprised to see shadow benny. They call it saw coriander. And they use
Uh-huh.
every single thing. I was amazed that they have like three different gingers. We only have one. They have three
Yeah.
types of gingers. I was blown away by the ingredients, and the flavors. It set the tone for the rest of the class.
So how long were you in the program for? How long was the program?
The program was for 6 weeks. So
Okay.
we did 4 weeks of 3.5, I think, of Thai, a week of Korean, a week of Chinese, a week of Japanese. So, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So with all of those different styles, which is the hardest one to kind of learn and do properly, and which is probably one of the easiest ones for people to get started with?
I think Korean is the hardest. I'm not a fan of the flavor profiles, but it's very strong. Like every ingredient is so strong. I'm not sure if that is how it is in Korea exactly
Mm,
because the chef is from Thailand. So I'm not sure if he, recreated them as they would in Korea, but
yeah.
the easiest was Thai. The most delicious as well was Thai.
Mm.
Yeah.
I am thoroughly enjoying all of my Thai meals. And it's funny because one of the questions I get asked on a regular is, do I miss Trini food? And I'm like, listen, when I'm in Trini, I'm eating my Trini food. But there's so much food to
Yeah.
look forward to that I don't miss
Yeah.
anything. I'm too busy looking forward to eating different types of food from different cultures.
Yes, exactly. And there's a Thai pork, a braised pork. It's stew pork basically. I don't know if you ever
Mm.
had it.
What's it called?
I really cannot remember at the moment, but it's
Okay.
the same
Uh,
concept, brown sugar. The only
mhm.
thing that it doesn't have is coconut milk.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the same stewing process, brown, caramelized pork, flavor. Yeah.
When you think of that name, you're going to tell me
I'll look back in
because
my book. I'll tell you. But I also feel
because
like
uh-huh.
there are all the ingredients for you to make something of Trini if you miss it.
But that is the next thing too. We also have a pretty decent sized Trini diaspora here in Thailand, both in Chiang
Okay.
Mai and also in Bangkok, right?
Hmm.
So I usually always get a lot of offers from the members in the group. Hey, you feel like roti today, or you want to pill out today, So you can get it. Now, here's the thing, right? There's more Jamaican spots
Yes.
popping up in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I am just looking around like, where on earth are my Trinis?
Yeah.
Because the Jamaicans can make a nice curry goat, a nice, they can make a good curry, but it ain't our curry.
Exactly. Exactly.
I had ordered from I felt for a roti the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what, man? I'm not really a big like authentic Indian food
Yeah.
eater, right? Like our Indian food in Trinidad, I eat no problem. Like I never really was into like just real authentic Indian food. Anyways, felt for a curry. I seen a place on Grab, and I got a tandoori roti. I got some garlic naan, and I got a curry chicken. And it didn't taste nothing like Trinidad, but it
No.
still tasted
Good.
very good.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Still tasted. I say all that to say, when are we getting peckish? Peckish plus 6 6.
Yes.
that would be that would be absolutely dope. So for people that are thinking about becoming a chef and getting into the space and really taking it seriously, what do you recommend people to go into? Because clearly you are investing in yourself. Like you're not about to just do Thailand just for the sake of doing Thailand, right? So for those who are looking to get into the field, what are some of the things you would recommend people to do if they really want to start taking this thing seriously?
I would recommend that they do some research and discover what aspect of cuisine they like. Because as I said, Asian food resonates with me. So I wouldn't go to Italian chef school or, like some
Yeah.
kind of other,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So do your research and just realize what you like to cook the most and do that, invest in that, you know, learn about that more, delve into that. That's
As
what I do. That's what I do.
mm, as a chef, how important is it to travel and see new countries, check out new cultures, try new foods? How important is it?
It is so important because firstly, I had no clue we had different types of gingers. I had to travel all the way to Thailand to discover that there's lesser ginger, galanga ginger, and normal ginger. So traveling is so important. You have to go and learn how they use different ingredients to create something magical. Like I intend to travel a lot more. I want to go to Africa because I know,
Mm,
and
that
Haiti.
jollof rice.
Exactly. From eating jollof rice and stew tripe, you know that they have a lot of ingredients that, they use differently and create different stuff with. Yeah.
When you got to Thailand, outside of the course, so we're thinking outside of the course now. What surprised you about Thailand?
What's up? I think the mannerism, they are very orderly. They line up
Oh,
every single thing without even being told.
BTS?
Yeah,
Could you imagine City Gate like that?
exactly. Exactly. The mannerism, they are really kind. I felt like I would have had a problem with, the language barrier, but It wasn't. There are English signs everywhere. I would say 5 out of 10 persons know a bit of English. And there are so many apps to help you navigate the country. Very effective chains of communication.
That part about the language barrier and applications, I think people underestimate how powerful these applications are now. Like, because yeah, the language barrier, I'm sure people kept asking you about that. It's one of the
Yeah.
top questions I get asked, how are you dealing with the language barrier? And people just don't realize when you have a strong infrastructure of the application. So almost all these applications that we use automatically translate
Yes.
the language. So if you're in Grab, it automatically translates Thai to English and vice versa. If you're using Lazada, any one of these applications, it's translating everything. If there was no Google Maps, my God, we might have been dead. we would have been we might have been lost. But everything is just conveniently a touch away. And it just makes coming here and just doing business easy when you're thinking about how you can order food, how you can buy these things, and you see it, and then you think about what could we be doing in Trinidad, and you realize how big that gap is. The more you travel, the more you see, the more you realize, listen, we
We are
could pay lip service. Yes, go
we
ahead.
are behind. We are so behind. I came back home and it's like there's so many things we could do. I saw so many businesses that could be patterned, to our
Yeah.
culture. But we are a
I
long way.
know, and I mean, this is why we're having these conversations, right? And this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to tap into a lot more of our people who have moved to different parts of the world so that we could extract their insights, get their experiences, because not everybody can travel, right? So people are going to have to live vicariously through you. You might say something that might spark an idea for a Google search. And before you know it, hey, who knows? Somebody else is going to that same school that you decided to go to in Thailand, right? So these conversations are absolutely needed if we are going to progress in TNT the way that we would like, because there's a lot of just little things that you have here in Thailand that we could be implementing, right? A lot of little things. I seen a Thai lady go to the ATM yesterday, and it happened so fast. I was like, I doubt it's what I think it is. So whilst I have to chuck my card in if I want to take out some cash, I saw this girl scan the QR code on the ATM that logged her in, and she was able to withdraw money.
Yeah.
So now I gotta find a Thai person and be like, "Hey, can we go to the ATM and can I film you taking out money?" I need to see and understand what's going on, because you really don't like you don't have to walk around with your wallet no more.
Yeah.
You really just need your phone in Thailand. Whether it's to take out money, you're literally scanning a QR code to take out money, or you're scanning their QR code for payments.
There's
So a lot of little things that we can definitely take back. Now, going into, you know, going into what your plans are for the restaurant. So today is the first day that you are opening back after how long of a layoff?
2 months. 2 months.
2 months. So you came out to Thailand, you're learning, you're regrouping to kind of reopen the restaurant. So talk to us a little bit about that. How things have been since you've closed for the past 2 months, where your focus has been and what people can expect now that you're about to go and reopen.
So for the past 2 months, I was so relaxed. I have so many things that I want to introduce that
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. That's the truth. I was so open last week, but I was not mentally ready because I have so many recipes. I have so many things to recreate to, you know. So it was a challenge, especially getting some of the ingredients. I tried my best to bring some stuff back, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of things. On Tuesday I searched the whole of Trinidad looking for palm sugar. I was not successful, but there's a bit of frustration there. But
Uh,
I plan to order it on Amazon or because it's like a main ingredient in Thai cuisine. So
yeah.
I can't fully start Thai food unless I have that. So there's a
Mm.
challenge there, but it will work out.
Oh, it will. It will. It will. It absolutely will. Because listen, the amount of people I see that are now like they're watching Peckish 868 are like, we want that Asian food. So come hella high water, I know you'll make it work. That being said, what are some of the differences between Thai food and Trini food?
Ooh. Thai food use a lot of fish sauce, soy sauce, palm sugar,
Hmm.
and seasoning salts. Straight off the bat, chef was like, "No food is food without MSG. We are against MSG here."
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So he was like, "Nothing is wrong with MSG. You have to use MSG." Yeah. So the difference is we use a lot of herbs and like ground spices here,
Yeah.
like all purpose. They don't use that. They use to season their food. They use MSG, soy sauce, fish sauce, oyster sauce, and they will use fresh
Mm,
hay, but they don't use a lot of powder seasoning like we do. They love coconut milk,
yeah.
and yeah, they have a lot of fresh seasoning. Same. They don't have flavor peppers. That's the only difference that we have here, but
Yeah.
they use a lot of ginger, garlic, fresh seasoning, shadow benny, as I mentioned, celery, coriander. So that's the difference. Oh, and their food is, I would say it's more healthy. They don't, in Thai, I don't think we cook anything with cheese. Yeah,
Mm,
no. All their curries and all their sauces are, we have the base is fish sauce,
yeah.
soy sauce, and palm sugar.
Yeah.
They have no pie, like macaroni pie is. Oh, and everything is served with white rice. I was so fed up about white rice. Everything is white rice, white rice, white rice. You know, that's the difference. We eat a lot of carbs here. We would eat rice, pie, provision, and meat. They would just eat white rice and meat and a little bit of vegetables incorporated in the meat. So their foods are very simple but delicious.
And fresh.
Yes, fresh.
Fresh. I
Yes, yes,
everything, every single thing tastes like it was just grown, like they just pulled it out of the ground. If it's meat, it feels like it was alive and swimming and going about his merry business earlier on in the day. And 6 p.m. he's on my plate. Everything is so fresh and it's so noticeably
yes,
fresh.
yes.
You know,
And
it's
everything is cooked fast too, so that's why it's always fresh.
mm. What was your biggest lesson coming away from your experience in Thailand? What was your biggest takeaway about your trip and time in Thailand?
My biggest takeaway would definitely be being able to experience that. As I said, it's like a dream come true. We didn't plan it for long. Like I bought the ticket 2 months before, 2 to 3 months before. So it's not like it was something that I had planned for like a year. So it
Yeah.
was you know, kind of unbelievable to see it happen so fast. You know, it just made me realize that, yeah, you could do this, you know, have a little more faith, believe in yourself. You have so much to offer. You could do so much. You know, you don't have to limit yourself to certain things.
Yeah. What has the support been like for you?
Ooh. Firstly, I would like to thank God
Mm.
and then my family and my friends and my customers. They are so, so dear to me. Every day I would, you know, get a message, when you're reopening, when you're reopening. You know, and as I said, my team, my friends, everybody, it's all love. And I think that is what Peckish is made of. Everybody is heavily invested and really wants to see the business grow and have the best of heart for the business. Feeling a little emotional talking about that part because it really is love, you know, the team, the customers, family, it's all love.
Wow. Like I said, the support for you and what you are doing has been amazing. Absolutely amazing from what I've been seeing. What is that one dish like you can't wait to make and show Tobagonians? Or I should have just said Tobago, but Trinbagonians. What is that one dish you're like, I can't wait. I go mash them up with this.
Why you have to limit it to one? There are so many.
I'll give you three. I'll give you three. I'll give you three. I'll give you three.
Um, definitely. Okay, so Thailand has like over 20 curries, and every single one is fire. So
That's
I
insane.
definitely want to introduce that a day with strictly Thai cuisine, like the curries, the soups. Oh, so much, so much. I feel like I still can't find a common ground to settle and execute some of these things. I'm praying that, you know, I find that balance very soon because again, I learned so much recipes that I'm confused. That's the truth.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Like over probably over 100 recipes, over 100 dishes we made. Yeah, definitely more than 6 weeks. Yeah. So I am very confused about that. But I have some plans to do like Thai Thursday. I want to do soups and salads because I learned a lot of soups that we would love, you know, like fish. It's not a fish broth, but like a beef broth. I learned pho. I learned um tom yum, so many things, so many things. I can't even sum up all of what I learned. It will definitely take a bit of time to introduce everything because I'm
You
overloaded.
see, you see that Tom Yum river prawn soup? Oh my God. I literally cried eating that because it was hot. It was spicy. My God.
Yeah, how did we not mention the spice level tolerance that these Thai people have?
Insane. Tell us about that. Tell us
Oh my,
about that. Because we love our spicy food in Trinidad. So tell us about that.
I love pepper, but we can't even compare to the amount of heat they tolerate. Like I had to omit some of the chilies because everything is chilies. All the basis of the curries are chilies, green chilies or red chilies. So that's why they're so spicy.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, the food is spicy. To me, we don't have that level of heat here. Them chili peppers are fire. And we use a lot of bird peppers as well. I was
Mm,
surprised to see bird peppers over there. You know, that's something that you grew up with in the yard. You'll just pick a few to make some chow, but
Yeah.
have them in abundance over there and they use them so frequently.
The level of heat, as you said, oh my God, just drinking that soup, I sweating, I hot. I know what to do with myself. But I went to Vietnam, so when you were coming to Thailand in December, I was in Vietnam, and
Mm.
when I had my pho, oh, I had a beef brisket pho. Oh my
Mm.
God.
Yeah, pho is amazing.
Oh my goodness. Only thing I ain't do was just straight up cry. The way that beef brisket for tastes. I'm hungry now, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I shouldn't be thinking about food, but as Davey knows, I gotta get some food after the show is done.
Yeah.
But time always, flies when you're having fun. With respects to just the next generation of people that are coming on that are thinking about getting into the culinary arts, give us some words of encouragement for those people looking on that feel like it's too hard to do it from Trinidad and Tobago. But when they see someone like you who can travel and you're learning and you're bringing all this back, you're showing them it can be done. What do you have to say to the next generation of culinary artists?
I would firstly say invest in yourself. Even if you don't have the finances at the moment, approach the bank, approach a credit union, take the risk and invest in yourself. I cannot, as I told you, I'm overloaded with so much knowledge and perspective for, this new culinary experience that I feel like even though it was a big investment, I have no regrets. So sacrifice and invest in yourself and do your research, Anything that your heart desires can be done. And I truly believe that you have to believe in yourself and also have a team that believes in you, that will push you, that will support you, that will stand with you regardless of. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. That was a sermon. That was a word. Shanice, where can the Freedom 106 Point family find you online and keep up to date with your journey and the happenings of Peckish 868?
They can find me on Instagram and Facebook. The last few years, I have hardly been posting because, I've just been grinding, but I definitely want to be more active on social media moving forward because there are so many things that I don't post. Like I posted once for the year last year.
Oh, we got to change that this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, so I really want to improve on that, but I can be found on all social media.
Perfect, perfect. Shanice, oh, last but not least, tell us about today's opening. Give us the details on that.
Oh, today's reopening, I'm overwhelmed already because I have people telling me, oh my God, we've been waiting, and I am so appreciative of that. But we reopened for dinner at 6:30 tonight. I softly launched some stuff on the menu. I call it Fusion Friday. So I try to incorporate a little bit of Thailand just to
Mhm.
start. So I have like the jasmine fried rice. I have drunken noodles. Have you had the Zap wings from KFC?
I ordering that
Yeah,
now.
please do. It is amazing. I'm gonna recreate that tonight.
Zap
So
wings. I'm
yeah,
gonna order that tonight. I haven't had it. I'm gonna try it.
You know, you
yeah,
always talk about food.
Thailand, KFC Thailand invented it. It's a dry wing
What is
and
this? What are we
and
doing? What are we doing?
they
I know we had some
yeah,
Trinidadian fries, and It
Put
tastes
it
good.
in like lime powder, paprika, black pepper, little sugar. It is amazing.
This lady, you could send a plate for me digitally.
No, you can hop a flight. I'll
Uh,
accommodate you.
do you need to come back to Trinidad and cook for people over here? You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
I don't know. We in the era of innovation and
yeah.
innovativeness and critical thinking, and all these things. So I challenge Karen on the next digital world to tell us, how we could send food digitally. And it must be a way, right? And
Where there's a will, there's a way.
yeah, and Karen does this every week. I'm coming here and he's talking food, and when he's leaving, his food just arrive, and he bring a whole chef to talk about it. Great information, though, guys. Great information. And it's very um. One texter is saying, "I need to come to Tobago." Another one is saying, "Where can I find her?" One other is saying, "Is she gonna come Trinidad and open? Is it Peckish? What is it?
Package
Peckish.
862.
Peckish 868." So yeah.
They can
Thanks,
find
eh?
me
My
Mount
belly
Pleasant.
growling now, guys. Thanks.
The restaurant is located in Mount Pleasant on the main road. We are on Google Maps, so if they're ever searching.
Oh, they'll be searching, all right. They'll be searching. You've made a lot of people hungry. I'm hungry right now. I'm looking at the time like I have a whole next hour to talk. I find David could just take over while I go and eat. Shanice, I'm gonna let you get back to it. Thank you for taking the time. It was a pleasure connecting with you, and I'm really glad that you were able to come out here and just have your mind blown away with everything that Thailand has to offer. I mean, my
That
mind is
is
blown.
that is what Thailand. I've been telling every single person, you need to visit Thailand. You need I am still blown away by that. Yeah.
It different. It
Yes,
different, and
it's
it different
different.
in
You have
it
to
different.
experience it to understand.
You until you get here and you see it for yourself, because we hear a lot of things right now, right? You're hearing about the low cost of living, you're hearing about condos at affordable rates, food is damn near, you could almost use pocket lint to pay for some of this food because food's so cheap.
Can I just say I was overweight? I got 300 chopsticks for 15 TT dollars.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Then why do people just leave Trinidad and Tobago and run to America, run to Canada? Why do we believe that going to those countries are the only place we can migrate to?
Listen, that place laughs at these places.
No, yeah. You know what it is? You know what it is too, David, to just to your point. Canada, the UK, the US were the go-to places for so many years, right? And then you had a lot of Caribbean people going over there. So when people were thinking about migrating, they're always thinking about familiarity. Let me go. I have a friend, I have an aunt, an uncle, a parent, whatever. Let me just go there, right? We don't ever hear about any of the people that have migrated to any of these other countries, which is, like I said, which is one of the reasons why, last week we had on, or week before we had on Chris Granje, who's out in Sweden. Like we don't hear about these
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
but we also haven't updated our knowledge on current affairs to see what are the best countries to live in right now. Thailand right now on the Forbes list of top places according to expats, Thailand is number 5. Bangkok is number 5 right now, right? Spain has a couple of spots in the couple of cities within the top 5. So we aren't doing enough to learn and see what countries are the best options right now. When you look at that top 20 list, Canada, the US, the UK, no cities are on the top 20 list for
Yeah.
places to live right now, right? Thailand is up there. So yeah, again, Shanice, thank you, because I know you got to run. Thank you for taking the time out and joining us on the digital world. I'm sure we'll be connecting with you later on in the year and see what's on the menu and what you decided to integrate within
Yeah.
Peckish 868. So thank you for taking the time, Shanice, and
Thank
joining
you
us
for
today.
having me.
Anytime, anytime.
Thank you for me. Nice to meet you.
Yes, I know. So fun story. Listen, we were in the subway and I just felt the tap. And like I said, I had just finished a massage and I was so tired. It didn't even hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. No, we could have this conversation. And I had reached out to you, but I was on the night before you were about to go jump on a flight. So it's all
Yeah.
good. Glad we made it to have the conversation today. All right, Shanice, you have an amazing day ahead and good luck on the launch tonight.
You too, Keron. Thank you.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Shanice George of Peckish 868. Please go and check her out online. Don't forget to go. And if you're in Tobago this evening, go and check out the restaurant. We are gonna go and take a break. We'll be back with more Digital World after this.